Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 4 of the NFL preseason right now with SBR contributor Dave Golikoff, and we're going to cover the Lions and Bills right now. Dave, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, the Bills are a 4.5-point favorite. That's a pretty healthy preseason line. It's notable, though, that the Greek and DSI both have it as just 3.5, so that's a lean to the Lions there. The total is 41. This, of course, is the 5th preseason game for the Bills, and in general, in recent years, teams that have played in the Hall of Fame game have not done that well against the spread in week 4. In their 5th preseason games, they're actually 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, and one of those wins was by the Saints. The Saints tend to do very well in the preseason against the spread. So in general, I think we look to bet against teams that were in the Hall of Fame games. 4.5 is a healthy total. So my first thought is Lions plus 4.5 has got to be the right side, but there's got to be some reason that the line is so big, right, Dave?
Yeah, well, I think that the Lions you're going to take a look at their backups and you're going to see lots of them throughout this game, but also you take a look at the Lions through the preseason so far, 13 points against the Browns, 13 points last week. You know, they did show up against Oakland with, 26 points, I believe it was. So their offense, even with the starters, has not done a whole lot. So, you got to really be careful betting the Lions in this spot. Also, Jim Caldwell, not a great coach to back in the preseason. Don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I believe he's one of the, I'd say, 3 or 4 worst coaches as far as straight up goes in the preseason. So lots of reasons to stay away from the Lions. But then again, you got the Bills, who their first string offense has been horrendous. Their offense, period, has been horrendous. Their first stringers have done virtually nothing all preseason. Last week, booed off the field at home at halftime. You know, they really had to stretch E.J. Manuel into the third quarter before that offense actually did anything. You know, they had to move the ball against backups. So, it's a tough play on the side here. Definitely wouldn't lay this many points with the Bills. Mm-hmm. Detroit, you got to be careful with because they're not scoring much this preseason. They have a coach that really doesn't care about these games, and they're a veteran team that has nothing to prove in week 4. So I really don't like the side here. I think under is probably the way that I would lean.
I agree with you. That's my other note here. 2 Detroit preseason games already went way under their totals, and the Bills, as you said, have been pretty low scoring, and they are 1-3 over-under in their 4 preseason games so far. Total is 41, and Dave, I have to say, I'm agreeing with that as well. So the under 41 it is. Thanks so much, Dave.